Buenos dias, Gunners Collective. Back at it like a smack addict. And as you can tell by that thumbnail right there, yes, indeed, the homeboy is back. Huero did the Inland Empire, man. And he's here to speak his mind on this conflict going on with the NF, man, with the federal and state factions, man. And, just some information that we're hearing from the inside, from the active yards, man, as far as the Sureños go, the Southsiders, on what's, basically taking place. If these vatos are on standby, if these vatos are up to par and knowing what's going on. And, just some new information, man, into what's been going on. So, hey, without further ado, Weddle, what's happening, brother?
Hey, what's up, homeboy? Good morning, huh?
Oh yeah, man. Same old song, Holmes. Hey, so man, this NF indictment that just happened. What's the word, Mockingbird? What's going on in there, homeboy?
Oh man, everybody's trembling, bro, because usually when there's one of those, usually there's more coming.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So they just hit all the ABs with that big indictment, right? And then now they hit, the NF. So who's next, homie? You know what I mean? So yeah, so everybody's trembling, bro. Definitely, there's no doubt about that. There's no doubt because ultimately, years ago, when everybody was housed in Pelican Bay and in the isolation chambers and in Corcoran and in Tehachapi, and the goal was, or the hope was always to catch an indictment because of the continuous deprivation of contact, bro. Isolation, homie. So the brothers in the feds, the NF, all the various gangs in the feds, they walk the line for the most part. They get in trouble, they go to ADX, they go through a little program. Ultimately, as long as they're cool, they can make themselves back to the yard. So the goal was years back, or the hope was, it was a blessing to catch an indictment.
Yeah. So with this new indictment that just happened, man, with the state faction of the NF.
But now it's not like that, bro. Everybody's on the yards now. Everybody's getting visits. Everybody's getting conjugal visits. Everybody's, enjoying themselves, homie. Everybody's prospering. Everybody's at peace. There's no issues, no problems, no concerns. Nobody wants to go to the feds now. There's no conjugal visits in the feds. There's no phones in the feds, bro. It's you get in trouble, they take phone time. I mean, it's a better program, but the way Cali is right now, this is the best place to be.
Yeah,
for a gangster, you know what I mean? If a gangster of status.
Yeah, so but, with the state indictment with that state indictment that just happened. Yeah, with that state indictment that just happened, brother, with the NF. What's the outlook of the Southsiders right now? I know you got homeboys on various yards. What are they talking about, man?
I mean, everybody's just going about things as normal, but there is the dudes from down south and Mexican mafia members. They're knowledgeable about the situation, bro. From my understanding, from my camarada that I just recently spoke to, bro, like they're all hopeful for peace. They're all hopeful for unity. They are happy with the current state of things, how things have progressed, and ultimately, that's a brown brother right there, homie. They all eat tortillas. We all eat frijoles. You know what I mean? We all, grew up in huarachis, and it's all one class, homes. Somebody at some point just drew some geographical lines and made things real complex, homes. But and that doesn't mean that they should all be one gang or one group. I'm not saying that, but to be at peace with your own people. I mean, why be at odds with them, So from my understanding, at least from a couple friends that I talked to, that's also their opinion, bro. Like, they're hopeful for peace, but they're also mindful of the current state of things. I don't know how they know this, how they don't know this, but they said basically it's their opinion that the feds are ultimately going to win that battle. You know what I mean? In regards to whatever occurs within the current situation of the NF. But and ultimately, I don't think they're okay with the status of peace here in the state with the NF and the MF. Because the truth is the MF dogged out the NF and the Northerners for years and years and years in the feds. I never done fed time, but having been incarcerated as long as I have, with course of time, you run into dudes that have done federal time. And you pick up sklecha and general knowledge about what the status quo is and the current state of things in the feds. So, you pick up that knowledge, so you kind of get a little understanding of what's going on. And the truth is, bro, the M and with their leadership and direction and directing the Sureños, I mean, they kind of dogged out the brothers from up north homes for a long time. So I see why there's anger and why the NF brothers and then the feds are upset about these individuals here in the state, making these decisions on their own, which affects their whole, especially when they're in the feds still shedding blood, in conflict with the Mexican mafia who did them so dirty for so many years. So you could see the anger, especially like that homie. I heard an interview, bro. I don't know these people, and I speak from a position of a layman in regards to northern politics. But just in general, from talking to my homeboys and some conversations with you and a couple interviews and things I've seen myself, I've been busted, homie, almost, getting close to 30 years soon. So, I mean, you get an understanding of things and how things work in gangs as a whole. They all somewhat work generally the same and have the same codes of conduct and have the same penalties for violators of those conduct. So yeah, man, it's a trip, bro. It's a trip. To me, homie, it's mind blowing because this is the community in which I grew up in, the community in which I've lived in since a very, very young man, and to see the situation developing into outright civil war within this gang. There's no doubt this gang has been around for a long time. This isn't just a local street gang, what I mean? This is a well organized, machine.
Absolutely.
With a well organized machine with a lot of power, a lot of people, and to see the leadership at the very top in conflict, it's mind blowing, bro. To both sides have declared the other side no good. Wow, it's mind blowing, bro. I started to think about. I wonder if the carnales, in regards to the Mexican mafia, are in the feds, are also upset with these carnales currently in the state because they've made a truce, a ceasefire, so to speak, or peace with the Mexican mafia, and but then I go back to the knowledge in which has been embedded in my brain for years and years and years, and it goes back to the simple answer. They may be mad, but they can't really get mad. State runs state, feds run feds, and that's it. That's the line in the sand. Whatever Mexican mafia members are in the feds, you guys run things as you see fit in the feds. The feds have a commission, so they have a hierarchy too. So that doesn't mean like independently they just do what they want while they're in the feds. No. There's leadership there too. But that just means any decision making that occurs within the Mexican mafia and the feds is from the top, and it is spread, from Central Command, which it used to be the homie Big Champ from Hazard. He's dead though now, and a couple other members, but yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy, homie. So as far as the Mexican mafia is, they got no position on it because the fact is it's not their thing, bro. But I know quietly, personally, a whole lot of them members of the MA are hopeful that everything can be resolved peacefully, because if it's not resolved peacefully and the feds have their way, then, there may be war. And it's a war of of people that won't even be present because the decisions will be being made from federal prison to the state. So how do you even negotiate or at some point try to solve that situation, Can it ever be solved? It's a trip, bro. There's so many unanswered things that are probably about to come to light and come to head in the next 5 years, bro. I would say it's gonna take some time before it all comes to conclusion. I'd probably say 5 years, bro. Just just from a layman, bro, just knowing how the court systems work, how how long it takes to get a bus, get a transfer, and the new brothers that just got indicted and 55 members. Um, there's some of them that don't got no issues whatsoever, but there may be obviously the top people have a bunch of fucking problems, questions, concerns, and you're gonna see in the end ultimately who's gonna have their way, bro. Who's gonna have the popular vote?
Yeah, where the loyalty lies, where the loyalty lies. So, hey, so so the day it happened a couple weeks ago, man, when this Operation Quiet Storm happened and these vatos got popped, I know the words were going around on the yardas in the California Department of Corrections, man. Was everybody shocked to see this happen, or did everyone see it coming?
I think ultimately, that lifestyle, um, we know as a person who lives that life, that ultimately the chances of that happening is highly likely.
Yeah.
Because of the whole thing occurring right now with the brand, you got to assume that one, there's investigations constantly going on. There's not no stoppage of investigations. They have an actual task force that investigates each of these cliques, groups, members. Makes every effort in the book, I assume, to wiretap. On and on, bro. They're looking for assets where they could seize. So there's continuous. It's a continuous organization. So they have a continuous opposition, which is the FBI, bro. So I assume as a person who lived that life for so many years, I know what the thought process is. Oh yeah, we're all in our investigation, but sometimes those things take years, bro, to develop. The previous one on the brand, bro, it was a 30-year investigation before they fucking indicted everybody.
Hey, what do you think? So, what do you think the rest of the the group segments are thinking as far as like the JAMA, the BGF, the brand, these other group segments that are also going along with this anti hostilities? What do you think they're thinking, Holmes? What just coming from your standpoint, what do you think's their mindset? Because they're all basically hinging their program on what's going to happen between the state and this federal NF branches.
Yeah, Holmes, it's a major event, bro. It's a major event. These are two major gangs with thousands of members, and there's a major conflict within the NF, one of those gangs. It's a major event, bro. It's a major event, and no matter what occurs, there's gonna be people that die, no matter what, as a result of this, and they're gonna be targeted for murder. Just as a result of the conflict, as a result of this new indictment, all kind of stuff's gonna come out, not even related to this situation at all, and there's gonna be heads that roll out of that case, just as any other indictments that's occurred with any other segment or group where a large group has been indicted at once. Yeah, there's gonna be people that are locking up already, shaking in their boots, knowing they did something and knowing it's gonna come out in this case.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
From my experience, what I've learned from my experience is that usually when something happens like this, the top, the brass figure, hey, it's just time to clean house, man, and get this, get the ball rolling back on course.
Yeah, bro. No matter what occurs, these individuals that are playing roles in the current dissension and chaos within the NF currently, all their heads will roll before this organization stops to cease to exist.
Mm-hmm.
There's too many members, and just because they're the head figures does not mean they cannot be touched. At some point, if this can't be figured out, all those individuals that are involved in this situation will lose. And they'll lose because they're creating conflict amongst the class of the whole. There's no way. Skip may be the baddest motherfucker in the world, and these dudes Chuku in DC, but ultimately, no man is bigger than the whole.
Absolutely.
And if they can't resolve the situation, then they gotta go. You know what I mean? And because there's too many people, bro. There's too many people to create this situation of chaos, homie. You're talking about potentially thousands of people being hurt.
Well, this is something that affects not only the NF but the M and the AB and the BGF as well. You have to take into account all these different these different groups, these different group factions.
Yeah, this situation affects the public as a whole. This is, I mean, this is crazy, bro. This is real crazy, man. This is insanely crazy. It's mind-boggling to say the least. You know what I mean? And
Hey, with them having
these
these
are these are
with them having this state faction, this brass housed in Atwater, United States Penitentiary right now, do you think they're going to continue to keep them there housed, separate, or do you think they're
yeah
going to
yeah
start
yeah
spreading them?
yeah yeah. The reason why they're gonna house them there, bro, because they don't want them in the federal county jail facilities, the federal facility, the metropolitan jail up north, because they'll have access to everybody, visits. They have phone contact. They'll have access to dudes that are going in and out from the jail back to the streets. They don't want none of that. They put them in an actual federal prison and isolated those individuals to prevent them from having access to those type of that are going in and out the jail. This investigation is costing the government millions of dollars. 55 people indicted. There's going to be a bunch of more people that are indicted. There's going to be a bunch of cases or individuals that might be get cut loose because they turn federal evidence on other members because they don't want to go to the feds for life. You know what I mean? Or don't want to go to federal prison, knowing once they get there they may be already done.
Yeah, that's a
You know
cold
what I mean?
situation. That's a cold situation, man. So as far as
So what they do, so what potentially could occur is you may see some people that are saying trying to work out a deal with the feds to turn federal evidence, for they can still have a date to go home at some point, and and um and um and also remain in the state facilities because they don't want to go to the feds, bro. That's far away, bro. They could send you all the way to Pennsylvania and way. You know what I mean?
yeah, hey,
No one's trying to go to federal
do
prison
you think any of these guys that were
after a
indicted
life.
do you think any of these guys that were indicted have any chance without flipping of going back to the state, or do you think the feds proceed everything and that's
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Usually in a situation, I've seen a bunch of dudes indicted and stuff over the years, bro. I remember when a AB named Butch got indicted, and he took a deal. Most of them took deals with the hope to go to federal prison, but it was usually at the discretion of the federal judge. It's usually at the discretion of the federal judge. In Butch's case, he asked, or maybe, excuse me, I apologize. It was at the discretion, in his case, at the discretion of the attorney general. So what happened is the judge, he said he took a deal. Boom, he went in there for whatever reason, took like a life sentence or some shit, with the agreement being that he would serve his life sentence in federal prison. The judge said he couldn't make that agreement, and that it would be in the hands of the attorney general, but it would be basically they would advocate that or hope for that, being he took a case, the deal or some shit like that. So he took that deal, bro. They sent him back to state prison. He was in state prison. Then all of a sudden, out of the blue, came and picked him up, transferred federal prison, and took him, bro. And we never seen him again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so basically the stance of the Southsiders right now is everyone's on a soft standby, just seeing how this is gonna play out.
Yeah, everybody, bro, is saying, hey, homie, keep your ear to the ground, bro. Stay on your toes because there's no 100% way to know how this plays out. But I, from an individual experience, also know that if it doesn't play out correctly, it's not gonna. The Mexican mafia is gonna also know what's occurring, most likely, at the time that they try to get all the NF members and supporters on board to go to guerra. They'll
Yes.
find out, bro. You can't you see all this stuff you see all these stuff on these Google channels and stuff. The truth is this: we as ex-convicts or current convicts or whatever know how slow information is in prison. And it takes a long time, homie, sometimes to get a wire, to get a message, to get a kite. You might find out 2 years from now, homie, how it used to be. You might find out 2 years from now that homeboy fucking locked it up and been gone forever or dead. I mean, sometimes information still no longer is it like that as a result of, just nobody's in the hole, bro. Cell phones and
Yeah.
everybody in the streets has cell phones, so you can call anyone at any time and they'll answer if they want to. You know what I mean?
Absolutely,
You don't even
man.
ever have to miss a call.
Hey, technology has made it a lot more easier, man, to control these yardas. So, hey, so trip out on this.
And in truth, right? I mean, because these fools, we're all Mexicans, bro. Like, so the truth is this: is man, all kind of people got family from here. There, I remember I got a bunch of homeboys that got a bunch of family in I think Gilroy.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
Gila.
just regular people though. My homeboys' family, but they're all from up north, all paisas. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I'm pretty sure they got kids who got kids. There got to be some members of that family that are from our norteños, homie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or maybe even associated with the NF. Who knows, bro? I'm not sure, but I mean, the thing is we're all one. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And just because there's a little line here in the sand, I mean, doesn't change. Hey, there you may have family over here, family over there. So the shit's gonna leak, bro. The shit's gonna leak.
So
Some sisters, some brother, some young northerner who's passing the wire is gonna tell his sisters, and it's gonna leak before anything ever even occurs. It's just gonna be crazy how it plays out.
So trip out on this with the common knowledge being that the state faction of the NF is in agreement with the end of hostilities, has been continuing as such, and with the federal branch not in agreement with this end of hostilities. Do you think that the federal branch can get in line with the end of hostilities, or that if they continue to push that line of wanting war, do you think the MA could
Yeah,
possibly make the first move?
yeah, bro. Anything can happen, bro. Just because I think the issue number one first is that these individuals self-appointed, bro. And it leads to the individuals and the feds. You know what the problem is? This is the problem, bro. They didn't reach out to those brothers and get their thoughts, their concerns, or anything of that nature, because they're kind of seeming like they're operating independent, state is state, federal fed, even though in their rules and regulations, you know, that's not written. At least not yet. It's not. It may be like that in the future. Who knows? So, it's a trip, bro. I mean, who knows, man? Who knows?
Do you
Who
think?
knows, bro?
Do you think that? Do you think that if information leaks that say the Federals have it their way, the federal faction has it their way, and they want war, do you think the MA will possibly make that first move to catch
Oh,
the
yeah,
opposition
bro.
off guard?
Yeah, I mean, the truth is both of these gangs are very violent. Just put your put your foot on the other foot. Put your shoe on the other foot. If the MA got word that a directive had been sent that the California MA members were going to follow the directive of the federal prison and get off on all NF members and followers, the NF would get off first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the MAs are actually the actual same way. They're both very violent gangs, bro.
Yeah, it's just the other side of the coin, bro. It's two sides of the coin.
It's just the other side of the coin. They're both, yeah, absolutely, bro. If they had conclusive 100% factual evidence that there was a conspiracy against their safety being conducted, they would definitely get off in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And the NF would get off on the MA in a heartbeat the same exact way.
Yeah.
Neither of these gangs are cowardice in any way, shape, or form when it comes to direct combat. You know what I mean? Or with weapons. You know what I mean? We're the same way, bro.
Yeah.
We just, for whatever reason, homie, somebody clicked the switch and says, "Hey, you know what? The hell am I doing, man? You know what I mean? I'm driving 90 on the." A 90 in the slow lane, you know what I mean? What the hell am I doing here?
Exactly. So hey, let's shift the topic, bro. So how you doing, bro? How you been doing lately? You know?
Oh man, just chilling, bro. I just cruise control, homie. Working on this little college degree and my little self-help groups, my correspondence courses. I'm just trying to make them steps, bro, to hopefully, continue to put one foot in front of the other till, I walk all the way out this door, bro. That's the hope. That's the goal. That's the desire, homie. You know what I mean? Freedom, homie.
Absolutely,
I want
man.
to smell the rain, homie. After I want to smell the earth, homie. After it rains and shit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, my brother, man. Ain't nothing like it. Hey, so yeah, it's just a trip that we actually were able to tap in with each other. I know it's been a minute, and just to see everything that's shifted and changed in the last few weeks, man. What's been going on as far as on the other side over there? Basically the non-actives. How are they taking it with a grain of salt? This program as usual, or are the Vatos fucking concerned maybe that administration could switch everything up more than they already have?
Man, Holmes, you know what? Man, it's the Wild West, bro. So, I mean, it's hard to really even give you an answer in regards to that, bro, because
Shit change.
there's no uniform command here.
There's
There's
no
no
rhyme or reason,
sharing
know.
of in. Yeah, I mean, it's not all bad, but there's things I do miss, bro. There's definitely things I miss. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And some of those things are basically communication, because we thrive and live in communication is so vital. It's so important.
Yeah. Hey,
And
with
then
it,
over
hey,
here, you're dependent on not a central command, or certain individuals, sharing current affairs of the environment, but whoever decides to stop by and give you a heads up what's going on, or this. The thing is this, bro. I really kind of like stay away from that as much as I can, bro. I'm just trying to bob and weave, and hopefully, you know what, this parole board will see that I'm no longer the 17-year-old kid I was, as a 45-year-old man, you know what I mean? And give me an opportunity to use some of this knowledge, some of this remorse, some of this regret, some of this knowledge, bro, to go out there and potentially help kids that were similar as myself, man, who took that path of destruction instead of the path of righteousness, you know what I mean? Of going to
absolutely, brother.
school.
The ultimate goal, you know.
I learned in here, Holmes, from another convict one time. He says that education is the key to all opportunity. I don't know where he read that at, but to me, homie, that's a legit statement, man. Education is the key to all opportunity. It expands your brain in so many ways, so many positive ways. I mean, that's why I think I'm very grateful for one of the things that incarceration has allowed me to do, is educate myself and continue to educate myself, because the truth is this: when I came in, I think I tested at like 6th grade.
Yeah.
And that was just because I was a screw up, bro. I was a little kid who liked to go into the desert and go lizard hunting, never liked to go to school. You know what I mean? And ride my BMX bicycle, my mongoose, and go to the mall and go to the arcade. And once there was no oversight, and I realized there was no oversight at home, from me not going to school, I just continued down that path.
Absolutely.
But
Ultimately, this is where you ended up.
yeah, I wish so much, homie, that I could go back, and my parents would have really been on me, and made sure I was in school every day, even if they had to go sit in the classroom with me. Because if I had a kid, bro, that's what I'll be doing. There's no doubt, because I know what led to this choice of my life to commit a homicide.
Absolutely.
And it was a continuous pattern of destructive behavior that continued to advance as I progressed and progressed and progressed and progressed in my life. You know what I mean? And just I've been other places too. I've been in 2 different placements. One I did 13 months in as a juvenile, and then another one I did probably 2 months. I jumped a big old fence, got away, and then I got arrested a month later for a gun, and they court ordered me back to that place instead of sending me to California Youth Authority.
Yeah.
And then this time I did the whole little sentence, which was like a 9-month program or 6-month program. But you know what? This just ain't for me no more, bro.
I hear you, brother. I hear you. So one other question to touch on the subject. Knowing that the MN in California, man, the state is different and the federal is ran out of a federal commission. Do you possibly see these new indicted brass from the state faction of the NF coming to some type of compromise in the feds and maybe doing their own thing, being able to program on the yards?
They're all smart people, bro. They're very smart people, right? And a lot of this guerra and these wars and these conflict are no longer even fought by people that are even alive anymore, for the most part. I mean, there's a few still figureheads that remember the old wars, but because there was death on both sides, bro. It wasn't something that was that was done in a kind format. They made efforts to really hurt each other at all costs in some cases. You know what I mean? And so I understand the anger, but in truth, you know what I mean? A lot of these people are no longer even alive anymore. You know what I mean? So I think everybody's smart and wise enough and intelligent enough to realize that for the most part, it's only beneficial peace. You know what I mean? Because what has 30 years of war resulted in? Nothing but isolation.
Absolutely.
So is it gonna, whereas the feds, all these individuals, they can hit their drum beat as long as they want. They've had the safety and the luxury to not have to be forced to war anymore because they have their own yards. There's separation 100%.
Yeah.
Whereas, you're telling these dudes to go to war. I mean, I don't know, bro. It's easy. It's easy to send someone to battle when you don't have to go yourself. And I'm not saying by any means any of these individuals are cowards. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, when you don't got to get your hands dirty, it's easy to send somebody else.
Yeah.
Directors
are easy to write down.
Now, someone could say, "Hey, well, check it out, bro. Them brothers in the feds have already shedded blood for that," which is true. I get that. That's absolutely true. So it's a contradiction of terms. You really can't have it both ways. Even though for the safety and the hope of everybody, I mean, hopefully that does occur where everything is worked out in a peaceful, in a nice way, bro. Because these battles are old battles, man. These scars are old scars. And at some point, there has to be peace.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Even peace doesn't mean cowardism. Sun Tzu or Miyamoto Musashi, one of those said, all peace means is be celebrate in times of peace, because that all that means is a new coming of war.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So exactly. I mean, peace doesn't mean a bad thing, because there's going to be guerra at some point.
Oh, there's always going to be some type of war. There's always a next op, Holmes. There's always a next enemiga that springs up and wants to be that man. Hey, with that being said, hey, Huero, we appreciate you, homie. Right here in Gunners Collective.
Let me tell you something.
Yep. Say whatever you have to say, brother. Yep.
Hey, but see, look at homie. The people who should be mindful also of the situation, who probably are not, right? Are probably the BGF, bro. You know what I mean? And maybe some of these cripos and these sangres, right? Because in truth, little do they know, homie, to prevent a major war with each other, they may go to war with one of these races as a unity card. And then what do?
That's when it gets ugly.
What if they? Yeah, then it's like, hey, homie, check this out. Fuck these we ain't going to war with our own people no more. If anything, homie, us with them as a collective are going to go get off on all these tintos together. I mean, who knows, homie? Those are just like way out hypotheticals, but and not even hypothetical, just theories, bro, of all the different possibilities. They're endless, homie. But yeah, we'll see how it unfolds, though. You know what I mean?
Most definitely, man.
See how it unfolds.
Most definitely. Hey, well, we appreciate you right here, Holmes, on Gunners Collective. With that being said, I hope that you guys move fast with a purpose. I hope that you get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, man, it's all about pushing that unity. Hopefully, everything can work itself out. That's come from Mr. Huero, the IE. You already know what it is, man. He's going to give you the clutch on some real shit, man, from a Vato who's been doing it for a very long time, and who was within the group organizations, man, and knows exactly what the fuck he's talking about. And in that fashion, the gun. Bang, bang. Gracias, Huero.